Okay, I'm back. So such a beautiful little baby. She was like almost 8 months old. She's adorable. Um, I love babies. I love little children. So and pets. So yeah, I do get distracted from them from time to time, and I apologize. But yeah. So I don't know what happened. It was probably operator error. So I'm having to make a part 2 of this video. And I don't remember the exact verse I stopped in. So I'm going to go back to verse 9. Because I want to make sure that I don't miss any part for you. So beginning again in verse 9. David lived in a stronghold and called it the city of David. Then David built up the city around it, starting at the Millo, earth rampart, and worked it inward. David grew greater and greater because Adonai, the God of armies, was with him. Hiram, king of Zor, sent envoys to David with cedar logs, and with them were carpenters and stonemasons, and they built David a palace. David then knew that Adonai had set him up as king over Israel, and increased his royal power for the sake of his people. Verse 13. David took for himself more concubines and wives in Jerusalem after coming from Hebron, so that still more sons and daughters were born to David. Here are the names of those born to him in Jerusalem: Shemua, Shobab, Natan, Shlomo, Yivkar, Yeshua, Nepheg, Yophiah, Elishama, Eliada, and Eliphalet. When the Philistines heard that David had been anointed king over Israel, all the Philistines went up in search of David. On learning of it, David went down to the stronghold. The Philistines came and deployed in the Rephaim valley. David consulted Adonai, asking, "Should I attack the Philistine? Will you hand him over to me?" Adonai answered David, "Attack. I will certainly hand the Philistine over to you." So David went to Baal Pratzim and defeated them there. He said, "Adonai has broken through my enemies for me like a river breaking through its banks." This is why he called the place Baal Pratzim, Lord of breaking through. The Philistines had left their idols there, so David and his men took them away. The Philistines came up again and deployed in the Rephaim valley. When David consulted Adonai, he said, "Don't attack. Circle behind them and engage them opposite the balsam trees. When you hear the sound of marching at the tops of the balsam trees, advance, because then Adonai has gone out ahead of you to defeat the army of the Philistines." David did exactly as Adonai had ordered him to do, and pursued his attack on the Philistines from Gabal all the way to Gezer. It's a little funny to me, though, that these people have been defeated once by David, because he had killed Goliath. So you would think that they would know, don't mess with David again. I could understand them coming against another king, but David? Chapter 6. Again, David summoned all the picked troops of Israel, 30,000 men. Then David, taking along the entire force he had with him, then set out for Bela Yehuda to bring up from there the Ark of God, which bears the name. And the name is the Yed-Heh-Vav-Heh. And we see it in the English Bibles, is like King James and things like that. It's YHVH. The name of Adonai's Vayot, enthroned above the cherubim. They set the Ark of God on a new cart and brought it out of the house of Abinadab on the hill, with Uzzah and Ahio, the sons of Abinadab, driving the new cart. They led it from the house of Abinadab on the hill with the Ark of God. Ahio walked in front of the Ark. David and the whole house of Israel celebrated in the presence of Adonai with all kinds of musical instruments made of cypress wood, including lyres, flutes, tambourines, rattles, and cymbals. When they arrived at Nachon's threshing floor, the oxen stumbled. And Uzzah put out his hand to steady the ark of God. But Adonai's anger blazed up against Uzzah, and God struck him down on the spot for his offense. So he died there by the ark of God. It upset David that Adonai had broken out against Uzzah. That place has been called Peretz Uzzah, breaking out of Uzzah, ever since. David was frightened of Adonai that day. He asked, "How could the ark of Adonai come to me?" So David would not bring the ark of Adonai into the city of David. Rather, David took it over to the house of Obed-Edom the Gittite. The ark of Adonai stayed in the house of Obed-Edom the Gittite for 3 months, and Adonai blessed Obed-Edom and all his household. King David was told, "Adonai has blessed the house of Obed-Edom and everyone who belongs to him, thanks to the ark of God." So David went and joyously brought the ark of God up from the house of Obed-Edom into the city of David. When those bearing the ark of Adonai had gone only 6 paces, he sacrificed an ox and a fattened sheep. Then David danced and spun around with abandon before Adonai, wearing a linen ritual vest. So David and all the house of Israel brought up the ark of Adonai with shouting and the sound of the shofar. As the ark of Adonai entered the city of David, Michal, the daughter of Shaul, watching from the window, saw King David leaping and spinning before Adonai, and she was filled with contempt for him. They brought the ark of Adonai in and put it in its place inside the tent that David had set up for it. David offered burnt offerings and peace offerings before Adonai. When David had finished offering the burnt offering and peace offerings, he blessed the people in the name of Adonai's Sebaot. Then he distributed to all the people of Israel, to everyone there, both men and women, a loaf of bread, a portion of meat, and a raisin cake, after which the people all left for their homes. When David returned to bless his household, Michal, the daughter of Shaul, came out to meet him and said, "Such honor the king of Israel earned for himself today, exposing himself before his servants' slave girls like some vulgar exhibitionist." David answered Michal, "In the presence of Adonai, who chose me over your father and over everyone in his family to make me chief over Adonai's people, over Israel, I will celebrate in the presence of Adonai. I will make myself still more contemptible than that, and I will be humiliated in my own eyes. But those slave girls you mentioned will honor me." Michal, the daughter of Shaul, remained childless until the day she died. Chapter 7. After the king had been living in his palace a while, and Adonai had given him rest from all his surrounding enemies, the king said to Nathan, the prophet, "Here, I'm living in a cedarwood palace, but the ark of God is kept in a tent." Nathan said to the king, "Go, do everything that is in your heart, for Adonai is with you." But that same night the word of Adonai came to Nathan, "Go and tell my servant David that this is what Adonai says. You are going to build me a house. You are going to build me a house to live in? Since the day I brought the people of Israel out of Egypt until today, I never lived in a house. Rather, I traveled in a tent and a tabernacle. Everywhere I traveled with all the people of Israel, did I ever speak a word to any of the tribes of Israel, whom I ordered to shepherd my people Israel, asking, 'Why haven't you built me a cedar wood house?' Therefore say this to my servant David, that this is what Adonai Sebaot says. I took you from the sheepyards, from following sheep, to make you chief over my people, over Israel. I have been with you wherever you went. I have destroyed all your enemies ahead of you, and I am making your reputation great, like the reputations of the greatest people on earth. I will assign a place to my people Israel. I will plant them there, so that they can live in their own place without being disturbed any more. The wicked will no longer oppress them as they did at the beginning, and as they did from the time I ordered judges to be over my people Israel. Instead, I will give you rest from all your enemies." Sorry, I lost my coffee. Moreover, Adonai tells you that Adonai will make you a house. When your days come to an end and you sleep with your ancestors, I will establish one of your descendants to succeed you, one of your own flesh and blood, and I will set up his rulership. He will build a house for my name, and I will establish his royal throne forever. I will be a father for him, and he will be a son for me. If he does something wrong, I will punish him with a rod and blows, just as everyone gets punished. Nevertheless, my grace will not leave him. As I took it away from Shaul, whom I removed from before you. Thus your house and your kingdom will be made secure forever before you. Your throne will be set up forever. Nathan told David all of these words and described this entire vision. Then David went in, sat before Adonai, and said, Who am I, Adonai Elohim, and what is my family that has caused you to bring me this far? Yet, in your view, Adonai Elohim, even this was too small a thing. So you have even said that your servant's dynasty will continue on into the distant future. This is indeed a teaching for a man, Adonai Elohim. What more can David say to you? For you know your servant intimately, Adonai Elohim. It is for the sake of your word and in accordance with your own heart that you have done all this greatness and revealed it to your servant. Therefore, you are great, Adonai, God, that there is no one like you, and there is no God beside you. Everything we have heard confirms that. Who can be compared with your people, with Israel? What other nation on earth did God set out to redeem and make into a people for himself? You made yourself a reputation by doing for your land things that even for you are great and terrifying. For the sake of your people, whom you redeemed for yourself from Egypt and from other nations and from their gods, you set up your people for yourself as your people forever, and you, Adonai, became their God. So now, Adonai, God, establish forever the words you have spoken to your servant and to his house. Do what you have promised. May your name be magnified forever, so that it will be said, Adonai's Baoth is God of Israel, and the dynasty of your servant David will be set up in your presence. You, Adonai's Baoth, God of Israel, have disclosed to your servant, I will build you a house. This is why your servant has the courage to pray this prayer to you. Now, Adonai Elohim, you alone are God. Your words are truth, and you have made this wonderful promise to your servant. So may it please you to bless the family of your servant, and thereby cause it to continue forever in your presence. For you, Adonai Elohim, have said it. May your servant's family be blessed forever by your blessing. Chapter 8. Sometime afterwards, David attacked the Philistines and subdued them. David took Metagamah out of the hands of the Philistines. He also defeated Moab, making them lie down on the ground. He measured them with the length of cord. For every 2 lengths to be put to death, he designated 1 length to be kept alive. The people of Moab became subjects of David and paid tribute. David, on his way to establish his dominion as far as the Euphrates River, also defeated Hadad-ezer, the son of Rehob, king of Zobah. David captured 1,700 horsemen and 20,000 foot soldiers. He reserved enough horses for 100 chariots and disabled the rest. When people of Aram from Damascus came to the aid of Hadad-ezer, king of Zobah, David killed 22,000 men of Aram. Then David put garrisons among the people of Aram in Damascus. Aram became subject to David and paid tribute. And I gave victory to David wherever he went. David took the gold shields which Hadad-ezer's servants were wearing and brought them to Jerusalem. From Betok and Berotai, cities of Hadad-ezer, King David took a great quantity of bronze. When Toi, king of Hamath, heard that David had defeated Hadadezer's entire army, Toi sent Joram, his son, to King David to greet and congratulate him on fighting and defeating Hadadezer. For Hadadezer had been at war with Toi. Joram brought with him articles of silver, articles of gold, and articles of bronze, which King David dedicated to Adonai, along with the silver and gold that he dedicated from all the nations he conquered: Aram, Moab, the people of Ammon, the Philistine, Amalek, and the spoil taken from Hadadezer, son of Rehob, king of Zobah. David gained more fame on returning from killing 18,000 men from Aram in the Salt Valley. David stationed garrisons in Edom. He put garrisons throughout all of Edom, and all the people of Edom became subject to him. Adonai gave victory to David wherever he went. David ruled over all Israel. David administered law and justice for all his people. Joab, the son of Zeruiah, was commander of the army. Jehoshaphat, the son of Ahilud, was chief advisor. Zadok, the son of Ahitub, and Ahimelech, the son of Abiathar, were Kohanim. Sariah was secretary. Benaiah, the son of Jehoiada, was in charge of the Kiriti, and Peleti served as the king's bodyguards. And David's sons were Kohanim. So I'm going to end this video here because I'll try to end it like right at 1 hour. So I hope you all have a wonderful and blessed rest of your day, and we will pick up the next video in chapter 9. Bye-bye.